Bump,
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 ba-da-da, bump,
bump,
bump.
bump.
Maybe not such a happy Bindi here on a Thursday morning. Welcome to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. And
Stop.
what?
Stop.
Wait a minute.
What
Stop.
I see? I'm seeing weird looks. I don't understand what's
Time out.
happening. What's
Zach
happening?
Morris timeout. Now look at Marcus Grant. Now spin around for us, please, Marcus Grant.
What am I?
What is happening right now? Take the headphones up, put them back down.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
It's
all
gone.
gone.
It's all gone. Yeah, I did a thing yesterday. I made a change. It was just time. I'd like to tell you that it's because I feel like this is going to change the Dodgers mojo, but that's not the truth. Yeah, after growing this thing out for 5.5 years, it was just time to do something.
5.5 years.
So I've known Marcus since 2009. That sounds about right.
That's about right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Did you have it then too?
No.
No. You were not shaved. You didn't have a shaved head.
It was definitely closer to this than the locks.
Okay.
So yeah, I decided to get it done. Honestly, it had been a thing I'd been kicking around for a while now, and I see that this is what's dominating the chat at the moment.
Well, yeah, it's a big change. Okay.
I get it. So yeah, I'd been kicking around the idea for a while, and I just felt like 5.5 years because it started as a pandemic thing, right? The pandemic, we were all locked inside, couldn't go to the barber. Hair started growing out. So at some point I just decided to sort of lean into it a little bit. And, 5.5 years later, here we are. I will say that my kids stared at me weird for a good long while yesterday. I even surprised, like there were a couple times I walked past the bathroom mirror and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I did that a couple hours ago. So,
well, it does look good. It does look good, Marcus. Does your wife
sure does?
She does. And I had to prep her for it. I told her that this change was coming because she's never seen me. She hasn't known me with hair this short ever in our relationship. So I had to prep her that it was coming. I didn't want her to come home from work and all of a sudden,
what are you doing?
Who is this strange man in my house? Something like that. So it's something different. It's definitely going to be an adjustment, but I appreciate the compliments in the chat. To Mixel Flicks. I saved a couple of them. I have a couple of the locks. I didn't need a whole head full of hair just hanging around my house.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with the lock? We'll get to the Dodgers in a second. What are you gonna do with the lock?
I don't know. I mean, for the
you're
time,
gonna hang it up on the wall, and
I don't know. For the time being, it's just like in a Ziploc bag, just like as a reminder of what once was. But I don't have any real plans for it, so I don't know.
Are you gonna grow it back out at some point, or are you gonna kind of just be clean shaven from?
I think we're gonna rock with this for a while. Maybe get a little bit longer, but nothing really crazy. We're just gonna kind of rock this way for a little bit, and I also felt like for me, like, because it's the start of a new football season, like the start of a new season felt like a good time to make a big change. So
yes, the chat. The chat's loving it.
They love it.
They're saying that everybody else should do it in solidarity.
Sure, I'd love to see Greg shave his head. That'd be great.
I'd rather shave my head than shave my beard. So this is never going anywhere. That is a part of me. It's a part of who I am. This doesn't go anywhere.
I'm almost curious if I can even shave the stash at this point. I feel like it is me
very
as
much,
well.
It is very much a part of Parker at this point. So
yeah,
but the hair, I can shave the hair.
Cool. Shaving the head, that'll grow back in like a month, 2 months. So I'll be fine.
All right. By the way, after all, go ahead.
No, I was going to say something that the Dodgers need to grow back is winning.
Winning, exactly. We'll get into that in just a second. First, want to give a shout out to the folks at LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, transforming the travel experience, saving guest time. I will be there later on tonight, so I get to experience that firsthand. If you want more information, I guess you can go there firsthand and experience it yourself, or you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. All right, let's just get to the bad news. Oh, hey, look, Mr. Classic is back.
Shocking! Mr. Classic comes back after a loss.
Right, like yesterday on the show, we were excited. We were talking about a win. They had scored a bunch of runs, had a bunch of hits. Like Mr. Classic wasn't there. Today, after a 5-3 loss to the Cardinals, Mr. Classic is back and seems very excited about what happened yesterday.
DeAndre Hopkins is in here too. And he's saying, I can't cut my hair. No chance. So let's say probably about 5 years he'll cut it. He'll cut it
at some point. Yes, I mean at some point you just decide you need a change. That's all. The only people who I think keep the same haircut for the rest of their lives is like Howie Long and Bart Simpson. Like that's
and
it.
John Ireland. He's had the same haircut since he was like 5 years old.
Yeah, I believe that. That tracks. All right. So yesterday the Dodgers lose 5-3 on a day where Shohei pitched well, hit a home run, but because Greg, he loves dramatics, he hits a home run for his 1,000th career hit in Major League Baseball. But in the end, the bullpen and the defense sort of let them down, and they end up being a frustrating series loss to a team that they should have, I think, taken 2 or 3, maybe possibly taken all 3 of those games.
Yeah, they should have taken all 3 from this team. The Cardinals have been one of the worst teams in baseball over the last month, and we just lost the series to them. So that yesterday was more frustrating to me than even the first game. It was little pops, and they weren't fully back yet, whatever it happened to be. Yesterday was frustrating because of Shohei for the most part. He was phenomenal on the mound. The only reason he gave up a run was because a ball was in the air, got lost in the sun between Mookie and Miguel Rojas, and then he goes 4 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 hits. It was just a phenomenal outing, no walks, and then right after he hits I forgot which way it goes. I think he hit a 2-run home run, and then he goes into in the 4th inning and strikes out the side. The dude is phenomenal in all senses, and for his 1,000th hit and doing all this stuff. So it looked good, and then they just couldn't score again. The old Dodger offense showed up. The only thing that I could say that why that old Dodger offense showed up, Max Muncy wasn't in the lineup. And
until there are 2 outs in the 9th, right?
Right, yeah. Like it's all kind of part of it. And again, they're going to lose games. I think I was always about just winning series, and they lost the series, which is frustrating. But they're starting to get to the same place. I love the fact that Mookie got another double, and his first at bat was actually super impressive when he went down 0-2 and then got it up to a 3-2 count, and then it was a hard hit ball to the shortstop. So he's starting to look better.
I got this in a Slack channel from a friend who's also an Angels fan. Since RBI became official in 1920, Shohei Ohtani is the only major league player to hit a home run, strike out 8 or more batters, drive in more runs than he allowed, draw more walks than he allowed. The Dodgers still ended up losing. I just get this message with the caption "Tungsten Arm O'Doyle."
Well, Trout happened to hit I think he went 2 for 4 with a home run, and they also lost at the end. So somebody tweeted out a very rare SoCal comeback of Tungsten Arm O'Doyle. Full circle.
Yeah. So that part was certainly disappointing. Parker, though, Greg talked about it. Mookie Betts, again, a couple of really solid at bats. I know he only had the 1 hit, but it was a double. It's been 2 games. I'm going to be premature here. Are we ready to say Mookie is back?
Mookie's back. There it is.
There it is. All right.
There it is.
I mean, he's getting there. It's going to take, I hope so. I really, really hope so, because he did have, like I said, the first at bat was a really, really good at bat. No matter what, even if he got out, it was a good at bat. Then he hit a double down the right field line that's either a pop up but he's hitting the ball hard. He's getting the ball in play. It's not these little pop ups where it was just going straight into the second baseman's glove, right on the grass. It's those types of hits aren't happening, and they'll happen every once in a while, but they're not happening anymore. So back, no, but back, yes.
Yeah. All right. And we all know that it was a massive mental thing. And he also mentioned that since the wrist, it's just been so hard to get over that. And I think that that's totally understandable. And of course, everything else going around off the field. So Greg's correct. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a while, but you can see the signs. And I think that's all we wanted. That's all we were asking for, is could we just see the signs for, few games in a row. I get this is only 2, but I think that these next few series we might see a different kind of Mookie, just like we're seeing a different kind of Marcus. Maybe Mookie just needed to, obviously he doesn't have much hair to shave, but maybe he could have went with a little change himself.
Yeah,
but more quickly on Shohei and his greatness, I think that when he hit that homer, I decided to take about an hour of my day, sorry, work, to look at Baseball Reference. And I got all the way to 2022, but I just was curious how many home runs he hit on the days he pitches. And if you look at 25 and 2023, the last 2 years he pitched, so far this year, obviously 3 home runs on the days that he's pitched in the 8 games. And then in 2023, he did it 8 games of the 23 games he pitched.
Wow.
22 is a lot less. He wasn't hitting as many home runs, but that's like a insane rate. I mean, 220 overall, but like 220 average overall. But if you take away 2022, this guy just on days he needs to show up, he shows up more than anybody in history.
I mean, remember the days, when Clayton Kershaw would hit a home run on the days he pitched, and we were like amazed and
wow,
right? In fact, I want to say there was like 1 year where he was the Dodger Giants home run leader, right? Like, I mean, it was like for a day. I think it was like he pitched opening day and he hit a home run, and like by the end of the day, he was like the Dodger home run leader or something like that.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it's 2014 versus the Giants. It might not have been 2014, but it was opening day versus the Giants. He hit a home run and they won 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. So it was something like that. But now the Dodgers have a pitcher who can do that like every start in theory. Like just it feels like he can do that in every single start. So it is still just fun to watch Shohei Ohtani play baseball. Shohei's starting to hit again. That's great. Mookie, we're all agreed, is definitely starting to turn things around. Freddie Freeman stays hot. He had 3 hits last night.
2013. Sorry, 2013.
2013. Okay.
They won 4-0.
Greg, it's not alarm bells yet, but I think we do have to at least recognize Will Smith starting to go into a little bit of a slump right now.
Yeah, he's starting to go into it. Look,
it happens to everybody. I get
right.
It.
So let's talk about it this way. If Will Smith starts to go into a little bit of a slump and Teo starts hitting and Muncy is back in hitting and Shohei starts hitting again and Freddie is hitting again and Mookie starts hitting again, it's okay. It's okay that Will Smith is going back into this one. Hopefully he kind of figures himself out, and he's gone through little bits like this before, but it's going to be all right. I feel like this is what happens to every catcher in baseball around this time of year. And the Dodgers were doing a really good job of having Dalton Rushing come out and go 2 times a week, so to give him a little bit of rest. Maybe for a month or so they can go like 3 times or whatever it happens to be. But I think we'll get back to what he was, maybe not the exact same high level that it was, but to just being that good overall hitter and getting hits when we need him to. But yeah, catcher is such a hard position to stay hot for 6 months a year. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not ringing alarm bells. I'm not freaking out yet. He went 0 for in the last 2 games of the series against St. Louis. 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 yesterday. 0 for 3 the day before. And just something we're kind of worth noting and monitoring. But to your point, if the guys around him are starting to hit, I think that will make up for it. Plus, if the guys around him are hitting and on base, then he's going to naturally get better pitches to hit, and I think he's going to be able to do something with them. Parker, how worried are we that the lead is down to 2 games in the division right now?
Well, it's something to monitor for sure. I think that we obviously talked about all season long that despite some of their struggles, they were still maintaining a good lead, 4 games here, 5 games there. And now we have to talk about the changes that I don't even want to say their name. It's like Voldemort at this point. That team, South team.
South, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about the changes they made. Somehow, they still had prospects to get rid of, and those moves worked for them. And they seem to do this relatively every year, where they don't know. They look like they're a dumpster fire, and then all of a sudden they get hot. Obviously, the other teams don't have to worry about as much when you talk about the Giants, Diamondbacks, where they used to be hovering around as well. It's something to worry about, but as long as the Dodgers play Dodgers baseball, they'll be first place. And I know that we've talked about in years prior, even if they weren't first place, it's okay because this team's built for playoffs. I disagree with that. I think that to get to first place, get the bye. But yeah, they're right there, and I'm slightly worried when it comes to just like the offensive prowess of the two teams. Padres have the edge at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously they loaded up, especially, on the pitching side. I know Mason Miller gave up the long home run on a 104-mile-an-hour fastball, but
That's crazy.
That was crazy. But obviously the still a guy that the Dodgers are going to have to deal with in the back end of that bullpen. Greg, I'm telling myself that right now it's August 7th, right?
Yep.
It's a 2-game lead. It's August 7th. There's still 6, 7, 8 weeks left to go of the season. There's still a long, long way to go. And especially because these two teams, the Dodgers and Padres, still have a couple series left against each other. In fact, the Padres come to town next weekend. The weekend after that, the Dodgers go down to San Diego. So, I know it's sort of worrisome. Although I'll say this, I think they're done with them after.
I think that's the last. I think that's the last series.
So, I think the next couple of weeks are going to really tell a lot about how this division is going to go. But I'll tell you that I feel a little bit uncomfortable seeing the number of games back at 2 right now.
So yeah, they did it earlier in the year too. They were right there. I think they were actually tied for the lead at one point, if I'm not mistaken. The Padres, I think, tied the Dodgers for first place at one point, and then they played each other, and the Dodgers went on that run where they went Padres, Giants, Padres, and won all 3 of those series. So that can happen. That can happen again here. And now I know they went through obviously this big slump, but with the way that they are now that everybody's healthy and Max Muncy is going to play every day and Mookie is starting to hit and all the guys are starting to kind of feel themselves again. I mean, they got right. It feels like they kind of gotten right over the last couple of weeks. So I feel good about it. It's, at the same time, the Padres did load up. They did load up their back of the end of the bullpen too. Like they have a very, very strong team and they do this year in and year out. So they're always going to be a threat. But I do feel like they're right there. I honestly feel like the Dodgers are about to just take off again. If you could feel it in the air, almost, you can feel when they're watching. Like it's just a couple more hits just have to land, and you're like, okay, this is that team again. I think we got overly excited against when they put up 12 runs, but at the same time, again. But then you go to a day game where runs aren't scored as much during day games for whatever reason. So if they're bad offensively against the Jays this weekend, there's a problem. If they're back to what they were on, what was that, Wednesday or Tuesday, I think we're going to feel better about it. Is that fair? Because the Jays are a good team.
The Jays are a really good team. They just finished absolutely clobbering the Rockies in the last 3 games. A 3-game sweep, which I believe what I heard is that they outscored the Rockies like 45-6.
Oh, it was something insane.
Oh, we got to look up the Rockies point differential.
Their run differential. Their run differential is insane. It's like 300 and some odd runs.
It's minus 316.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to laugh, Colorado.
The next closest is the Athletics with. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Nationals with 142.
Who put up
minus 142? Yeah.
Whew, man, that's
bad.
That is bad. I'm sort of hoping that what they did in Colorado over the weekend, maybe the Blue Jays have, maybe they tired themselves out over,
hope so.
Coming into Dodger Stadium, because you're right. They are playing some great baseball right now. They have won 4 of their last 5, including, so the final scores, by the way, just for the record, 15-1. The nail biter of the series was 10-4 on Tuesday. And then they finished it off with a 20-1 win on Wednesday. So both teams have a day off today, the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. They will get it going on Friday at Dodger Stadium. It's Kershaw Day on Friday, isn't it?
It is Kershaw.
And Kobe Day at the park.
That's right.
Kobe bobblehead.
Yeah.
So I would get there early. I know you guys will talk about it tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow, but you guys will talk about it tomorrow and kind of preview that. Anything else that's kind of jumped out at you? Your review, your thoughts on Alex Freeland, Greg, after a couple games. I know he had the bad error that allowed to go ahead and run to score, but your overall evaluation so far.
I've been impressed with Freeland. I think he's playing a good defensive game. I think he's also he's besides the throwing error that really was just an inexcusable play. You're a rookie. You should not be throwing that ball to second base. You just
put it in your pocket.
Just put it in your pocket right there. Try to let Alex Vesia get out of it. But that was bad. But besides that, I thought he's looked good, and I think he's really held his own in most of those positions and hitting the ball hard. So I just worry that guys will eventually start, just like every rookie that comes up, they're going to figure out, okay, he likes this pitch, so I'm going to throw him something different until he can hit that pitch. So I think that is all coming, but I like Freeland. I thought he's been looking pretty good.
I mean, Parker, you guys share similar mustache styles. Your feelings on Freeland so far?
I love the guy. I almost said I love the kid. Like I'm like I'm older. I'm trying to get better at that. As I've been working alongside a lot of let's just say more seasoned people, I pick up the vernacular. So sometimes I'm out here calling these guys kids who are getting drafted, and it's terrible. I like him. He's a baller. I think that he's got what it takes to be on this team, and he really adds some versatility to this squad. I mean, we're talking about how some of these guys who we're putting around the infield haven't been able to hit. I'm glad that we made a change, that the Dodgers made a change. And Freeland to Freeman, that's one of the coolest combos you got in the league.
That is kind of cool. I do like the fact that he can, at least right now, be sort of a Swiss Army knife for this team. It fits with what the Dodgers have been looking for the last few years. I mean, they love those guys who can play multiple positions, right? I mean, we saw it for years with Chris Taylor. We've seen it with Kike Hernandez. Miguel Rojas gives you a little bit of that as well. And Freeland being able to play potentially 3 spots on the infield while also being a switch hitter means that, if he ever does ramp up the way the organization hopes he does, he becomes a guy that it's hard to get out of the lineup because you don't have to worry about sitting him against lefties or anything like that. We'll see where his future is potentially on the infield. A lot of that has to do with whatever Max Muncy's future potentially is with the organization in the next year or two. So we'll see about that. But I have been very encouraged by what I've seen about Freeland. I like you points about the way he's swinging the bat right now. A lot of solid contact. Yep. So I think there's something to be excited. I see Mixel Flick saying future third baseman post Muncy. I do think that's the idea. I mean, I think that is the idea eventually for him.
Why they didn't move. We should probably talk about just real quick that Justin Dean is coming up, and it seems like I don't know who he's coming up for. I just saw that he is coming up, and I see they're talking about it in the chat. Don't know a lot about him, but the fact is he probably comes up for Estuary Ruiz would be my assumption, because he does have a lot of speed. He steals bases. He does have a little bit of power. He has 10 home runs in AAA is what I'm seeing here, but he's more so. It seems like he has good at bats. Everything I saw on Twitter yesterday was that he's an exciting player to watch, so that should be pretty fun. But for the most part, it's I would assume it's Estuary Ruiz that gets sent back down, since he didn't really do too much and just showed a little bit of speed, and also was a terrible defensive.
Not a great defensive player. Yeah,
and Alex Call yesterday too. Yeah.
Alex Call looked good, especially in the field where he was slamming up against the wall. So
that little spinning catch he had in the first inning.
Good
that was
options. Good options.
Call has given them some good at bats too. Yep. So far he's been. Part of me was thinking yesterday as I was driving around listening on the radio to the game for some point, and I was like, could Alex Call be this year's Tommy Edman? Could he be the guy that is sort of, kind of like an afterthought at the trade deadline, who ends up being very instrumental down the stretch? I mean, who knows? As for Justin Dean, real quick before we go, so far in OKC this year, hitting .274, 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in, 25 stolen bases in 81 games. So definitely a lot of speed there. So it'll be interesting to see where he fits in, how Dave Roberts decides to deploy him and all that sort of stuff. So
I saw somebody in the chat also ask about Ryan Ward. Jazz Meat surprised Ryan Ward wasn't called up. So I actually asked, we asked Jeff the other day off the air, because he does a show, the Dodger Head show with Bruce Kuntz every Thursday. And Bruce is saying that he's not a good defensive player. And really, he's just that typical AAA guy that just feeds off of AAA pitching, which is normally the bad pitching. So it's that they don't see a future for him up in the big leagues.
We call those the 4A guys.
4A guys, yeah.
4A guys, yeah.
I think the comment was he's James Outman without the defense.
Yes, that was exactly how that's how Jeff put it. Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. As always, we appreciate all your participation in the chat. Even you, Mr. Classic. We're glad you're here. Stick around. First pitch coming up with Travis and DeMarco and Bergman for Parker Bell. For Greg Bergman, I am Marcus Grant. Thanks to LAX as well. Back tomorrow here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Blue Review, 8:30 to 8:55 preview, which should be a big weekend series against the Toronto Blue Jays. We'll see you then.
See ya.
See you.
Yeah.